Hey everyone, this is David Marquez. I'm filling in for Josh, who's out on assignment. I'm here with Dave Meltzer. You all know who he is. Dave, we only have 10 minutes, so let's try to get through this. And these are questions that Josh has sent to me. Why are you in Los Angeles?
I'm here to see the PWG show this weekend. The Battle of Los Angeles is the weekend that we're taping this, so yeah.
Okay. And your thoughts on the future of UFC, especially when Ronda retires?
You know, UFC is going to always be around. I think it's going to be very similar to boxing in the sense that it will be when the right star comes along, it'll get really hot, and when they are between stars, then it'll be at a steady level. So it's going to be part of our sports culture, and it'll be like boxing. We'll have its peaks and its valleys.
All right. Do you ever have a non-working weekend, whether it's UFC or pro wrestling?
I have non-working days over the weekend, but not the entire weekend because there's always something going on. I mean, there's always 3 or 4 events. There's always something on TV. So, yeah, non-working weekend, I don't think so.
And speaking of just there's always something on TV, what non-combat sport do you enjoy? What programming?
I mean, football, basketball, that type of stuff. I actually don't watch that much stuff that isn't wrestling or MMA because there's so much of wrestling and MMA, and I feel compelled that if I have free time, well, then I'll watch another wrestling show that I miss somehow.
All right. And we all know you've built the Observer. We all know what it's about, and we all know that we all can't run it, our own little enterprises that we've all built, myself included. But once your time's done, who's going to take over? What's the future like?
I don't know what happens. I mean, well, now I'm working with Brian Alvarez with the website and everything, so I think that it'll go on. It'll go on, but I'm not going anywhere. So I'm not. It's nothing that I think about because it's like I'm going to be around for a long, long time. I mean, I know it's not forever, but it's going to be. It's going to be 20 more years, and who knows what happens in the next 20 years? There's going to be all kinds of different things that happen with technology, and who knows what happened by then.
May have a hologram. Dave Meltzer. So you're ready for the 10 minutes with you, the actual lightning round here. Sure. I'm going to hit you with a couple questions. You just let me know the first thing comes to your mind. Okay. So what's a better sandwich, peanut butter and jelly or a BLT?
BLT.
Why?
I don't know. I was never a peanut butter guy.
All right. I'll buy that. Yeah. Better actors, Schwarzenegger or Stallone?
Stallone.
Why?
I really love the Rocky movies. They were like my all-time favorites when I was younger.
Okay.
Especially Rocky 1 and 3.
1 or 3?
1 and 3. The other one's not so much. 1 and 3. 1 especially. 1 was incredible.
Better place to waste your money, a casino or a strip club?
Casino.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. This is a question that I'm always actually hit with. A PC or Mac?
I don't know. A PC, I guess. I got both. But I don't have Mac. Okay.
I'm a Mac guy. Okay. There's a distinct thing. It's.
I'm completely ignorant. As long as it works, I'm okay. But unfortunately, with me, my things usually don't work. So maybe I should actually know more.
All right. Madison Square Garden or the Tokyo Dome?
It depends on what you're looking for. Madison Square Garden is better in the sense of it's smaller and there's the kind of for anything but pro wrestling, I would say Madison Square Garden. But the Tokyo Dome, if I was going to see a show, I would say the Tokyo Dome because the Tokyo Dome shows are usually incredible.
All right. Well, do you have a favorite season? Winter, spring, summer, or fall?
Summer for sure.
Why?
I just love summer. I mean, from a kid growing up on the beach and everything like that. I don't do any much different in the summer now than in the other seasons. But until I was 40, I lived on the beach practically. So yeah, definitely summer.
Okay, a personal favorite: Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan.
Between the two of them?
Yes.
I mean, Steve Austin for sure. Steve Austin had great matches. Hulk Hogan had matches, and they were fine. And Steve Austin's interviews I liked more. Hulk Hogan's an iconic character. I got nothing against him, but yeah, I got to say Steve Austin. Right. He didn't have the longevity though.
Okay. And finally, who will retire first, Vince McMahon or you?
That's an interesting question. Since people are talking about Vince McMahon retiring, I would say Vince McMahon. I'm younger than him, okay. So I would say Vince McMahon.
All right. Well, we all know what you've done, and where the internet has taken pro wrestling, and virtually you've led the charge in changing that. You know,
I was behind on the internet actually, in the sense that,
well, at least with the sheets.
yeah, I did the newsletter before, and it took a while to transition over because it was you don't want to make a change and then blow it. You know what I mean? Do something wrong. I know if I did it the old way, I knew it was going to be successful. And then making the move, I could do it, and it could have blown up in my face. And it then did once or twice. You know, I mean, when you change things, and you know, so I would never say I led the way. I'm in there. I'm in the game though.
I'd say you led the way. I certainly do. Just being able to be probably one of the only guys that said that I could remember in pre-90s, you know, in the early 90s. And when it comes to pro wrestling today, you're at Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and you see a lot of new talent. And I even asked you, did you know who everybody is? And I'm a current promoter, and I don't even know who everybody is. How do you do that?
I mean, the guys that come to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla kind of have an indie buzz. So those kind of guys I know from, you know, just covering the different indies. And then when you hear about somebody new, like the last night I saw Will Ospreay, okay? And this is a perfect example. Is like for the last couple of months, guys in the UK have been telling me, hey, you know, you need to look and see Will Ospreay. So I watched a couple of his matches on YouTube before. So yeah, I knew who he was. I mean, I'd never seen him live. And you know better than anyone. I mean, there's a big difference between watching someone on the computer and watching them live. When you watch them live, you get a whole different feel for them. And so I was very impressed. And plus, a lot of the guys when they work in PWG, they feel a lot of pressure because there's so many guys that are so good. So you're really getting the best of the best that they've got. Yeah.
Well, and as an example, when I see younger guys, it's kind of difficult because I have kind of an older booking mindset, and so I'm really trying to bridge the generations, I guess.
I think everyone is. Yeah. You know, but it's funny. You almost have to, because you know what was sad to me, and I saw this before when I was younger, and I would see these guys that were very, very successful in wrestling. You know, promoters that were, you know, great promoters that would give me all these lessons and everything, but they were like not knowing who the young talent was, and they had a certain way of doing things, which was a good way. But you kind of have to, you know, like there's stuff that they do now that I think can be counterproductive, but there's also stuff that they do now that you can learn a lot from. So it's kind of like to me, I always feel like I want to meld what I know, but you got to keep watching what's going on, because if you don't keep watching what's going on, then it's kind of like you're missing the younger generation of fans. Sure.
Well, like we were speaking before we went on camera, do you think 20 super kicks in the opener, does it matter anymore? In building the card?
Put it this way. What they do here, I would not recommend unless you have a certain audience. For this audience, it's what they want for this audience. But, I mean, there's so much stuff in PWG that goes against my theories of what you would do. I would never want a show to go till 1 a.m., which last night's show, I probably went till 12:30. But it was okay because of what it was. And, you know, the same moves over and over again. You save them for the main event guys, so to speak. Like you said, you don't. Yeah, under normal circumstances, in PWG, it does work. But it's a very unique audience in a very unique case. It's like people that are flying all over the country to see a certain slam bang kind of action. But yeah, I think that you want to build a show, and you don't want the guys in the first match doing 5 million false finishes, right? As a general rule, sometimes you hear about that and see that, and it's like by the time you get to the main event, the people are numb, and you never want that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that's what's difficult for me. They come to me, and we make television, you know, and trying to put a TV match together, as you know, is completely different.
From an arena match, yeah. And plus, for TV, you know, one of the things with TV is that guys have to sacrifice to get the other guy over. More than like an arena show, I think. You know, if you're trying to get guys over to build X and Y to face each other, on the way up, the job of some of these guys is not to get your stuff in, but to make this guy look like a superstar. So yeah, you got to. I'm sure like some of the younger wrestlers that want to do all these dives, and it's like it's not appropriate for you in this spot when that's the thing. So yeah, it's got to be hard. And I know it's hard for other guys too. You know, where the talent goes, oh, they're holding me back, and it's like no. There's a certain, you know, when we're producing television, there's a certain role that you have, and if you don't do that, then your TV is going to be numbing, and it's not going to build what it's supposed to build.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All the time, just meeting people from all over the country. But we'd like to thank you, Dave, for joining us here. 10 minutes of your time, Dave Meltzer. I am David Marquez. Josh will be back soon. Thanks for watching.
Bye.